Alright guys, we are here on JujutsuKaisen Phantom Parade, and before we get into it, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, comment down below which one of these guys are your favorite out of the 3 hidden inventory characters. Right, in this one, we're gonna do because I was gonna make individual showcases. I know I've showcased them before on the JP side, but now they're on global. I was gonna make new ones. I was gonna make individual ones, but I thought that's kind of long, so I'm just gonna put it all into one video. We're gonna do the big 3 hidden inventory characters showcase. That's how we're gonna do this. So yeah, we'll jump into breaking down their kits and then showing them all in one stage of tower each. That's how we're gonna do it. Let's lock in and I'll see you there. Alright guys, we're gonna start off with Suguru Geto. He is green, to protect non-sorcerers, which is crazy because we all know how he ends up. But we'll start off with his passive. His passive is, if any enemy targets are disabled in combat by self, he recovers 10 curse energy for self. It's pretty much the same passive as Blue Geto, so with every kill he gets, he gains curse energy. His skill 1, which is crazy, I've got it on level 8 by the way, so this isn't max stats. And I don't know when he will be max stats because, bro, this game of resources is just, it's wild. Like, even I don't have the resources for this shit. But anyway, he deals melee attack hybrid damage to target enemies equal to 139%. This is at level 8. Of his physical technique and 83% of his curse technique, and it hits twice. If his curse energy is 30 or more, it applies 20% crit rate increase to himself for 1 time. And if his curse energy is 40 or more, he applies 20% damage dealt increase to self, which is crazy. This is a good skill 1, like it really is. So basically, the highest curse energy is, the more the effect scales up to 50%. So this is a crazy skill 1 in my opinion. Like this is some craziness, but which is even more crazy because I feel like I've barely used this skill 1. But to be totally honest, I've barely used this character. But we'll get into his skill 2. So his skill 2 and his skill 3 are pretty much like somewhat the same skill, but they're like the reverse, if that makes sense. So this skill pretty much buffs curse technique damage because it debuffs the enemy and makes them take more damage from curse technique. And obviously the percentages here is for level 8, which is 16.7%, and that lasts for 4 turns. So you can just keep, like if you have Yuki on the team, you can just keep spamming this to keep debuffing the enemy over and over again. And the stacks last for quite a while, so it's pretty good. It also deals damage, it's hybrid damage. All his attacks deal hybrid damage. It also deals hybrid damage equal to 75% of his physical technique and 197% of his curse technique. I really wish that global just didn't call it physical and cursed, because I just think taijutsu and jujutsu is just far better. Like, I don't know why they did this, but anyway, you're gonna want to be popping this off when you have 35 or more cursed energy, because then it applies the 18.2% extra cursed technique damage for green attribute characters. My brain just went blank there for a second. It's for green attribute characters. They'll deal 18.2% more cursed technique damage. That's for 4 turns. So obviously you're gonna want to run this guy on a like mono green team, so that's what you're gonna do with that. And his skill 3, it deals more damage, so 334% physical technique, and it does 182% curse technique. I've got this at level 8 as well, so remember this isn't the ceiling for this skill. But this time it does it applies a physical technique damage debuff for 4 turns, which is obviously good if you want to run him with Yuji, because he's a taijutsu character, so that's what you're going to want to use. And obviously he has the same green attribute debuff Instead, it's for taijutsu. I feel like I didn't explain that very well, but I hope I did. I'm not gonna run through that again. I'm not gonna lie. You'll see in game anyway. And his ult's kind of crazy. It has 100% break damage. It gives him 100% break damage, but remember, this is at level 8, so I do believe it gets higher at level 10. I can pull up the wiki and just double check. Yeah, at level 10, it goes up to 105%, which is, it's not that much of an increase, but it's still an increase, and that's for one time. This also applies 40 maxed cursed energy increase, so his cursed energy will go up by 40, but that lasts for 4 turns, and he recovers 20 cursed energy to himself. On top of that, he deals ranged attack hybrid damage to target enemies. So does that mean it's AoE? It's man, I feel like low-key I'd rather read this off the wiki, but anyway, we push on. Equal to 834% of his physical technique and 1001% of his curse technique. This shit will hit hard. Like, this is a crazy I'm not gonna lie. But he is a support sub DPS, so it's crazy that they gave him such a good ult. But yeah, that's a quick rundown of his skills, his passive. So we're gonna jump into a stage. We're gonna look for a tower stage. We're gonna run him on this team right here, because we're gonna have him as the support / sub DPS, and he's gonna be supporting Gojo. So yeah, let's get into that. Alright guys, we are on floor 22. We're doing it on floor 22 because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that high on tower right now, because I'm trying to save it. I want to save it till I get domain Gojo, Sukuna and all that, do you know what I'm saying? Because I want to like get through the whole of tower with just that team. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it. Let's quickly just pop this off. I'm gonna show off Geto here. Hopefully things go our way and Yuki don't get targeted. This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna start off with skill 1, and then from there we're just gonna spam his skill 2, because we want to debuff him for Gojo to deal a lot of damage. Oh, he is targeting Yuki. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Hopefully heal Yuki. We'll do that. I want Gojo to break him before he can murder my characters, man. Oh gosh, it's AoE. Alright, let's just hope and pray at this point. Okay, we're just gonna keep spamming the skill 2 with Geto. Okay, we break. That's exactly what we want. We'll do this, and then we'll debuff again. You know what? I should have changed Geto's position, honestly. But anyway, we'll do this. So debuff again. Nice. We'll hit this. And then we'll do this, and then because I believe we could probably kill right now if we hit the Yuki / Gojo ult, but instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Geto's ult first. We're gonna activate adult time, because obviously that does hybrid damage with it, buffs his hybrid damage. We're gonna hit his ult, and then after that we'll hit the Gojo ult and see how it goes, and then we'll just hit Gojo's skill 2, because next turn is GG's for him. It's so clean. I think his animations are clean. Okay, he does 1.5, basically 1.6, which is really good. We'll buff here, and then we'll do this. And then that's the wrap. I want to see how much Gojo does here. Let's see. What's Geto getting the man Gojo to do? 5.5 million. Wait, we're not even done. Hold up. What's the overall damage? 5.7 million, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Geto is definitely a skip, but he is like, it feels for me that he's like imperative for a green team. It's crazy. But anyway, that's Suguru Geto. Let's get into who we gonna do next. Let's get into Toji next. I'll see you there. Alright guys, Toji Fushiguro is next, the sorcerer killer. By the way, I just want to put this out there. I got actually lucky on hidden inventory. I'm happy with the results. I wish I had a dupe of Toji, but I want that 25% increase, bruh. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Anyway, by the way, go check that video out. Check all the summons of the hidden inventory. It was pretty good, and maybe they'll help you too. You can apply the Haki Kage strat. But anyway, let's get into it. Toji Fushiguro, the sorcerer killer. Let's go over his passives. He has like some crazy passives. When the battle starts, he gains 50% taijutsu damage increase like straight off the bat. He recovers 3.5% HP for himself every turn. He has 15% damage reduction just for free. He's just that guy. He has 20% chance to evade. So he has a 20% chance to dodge. Puts up from any guaranteed hit effects and won't become the target of certain skills and status effects. This guy is crazy. When he crits, he does more damage, and he has 50% chance to apply guarantee hit to himself. The passives are so good, man. When self deals a crit hit, applies 15% taijutsu to self for 3 turns. Yeah, he's crazy. When dealing a crit hit during effect period, applies 25%. Yeah, look at this right here. He's just giving himself taijutsu damage all over the place. And running this guy with like-minded, oh, he's gonna be so good. Okay. Skill 1. We've got all his skills at level 8, by the way. It's gonna be the same for everyone because I just can't get that 9s, 10s. I can't. The resources are crazy. He deals melee attack damage to a single target equal to 273% taijutsu damage. It deals 2 hits and it applies 20% crit resist decrease for 3 turns. So you're gonna obviously want to hit this if you're trying to hit crits more. It's mainly for that like-minded and his damage increase. So yeah, there's that. You probably won't be using this much, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, skill 2. Deals melee attack damage to single target equal to 459%. I just want to reiterate that I do have my skills at level 8, so this isn't the highest multiplier it can go to. So yeah, taijutsu damage, 3 hits in total. So this is gonna be like one of your best chances to hit crits and get that like-minded up, get your damage increase. It says ignore damage taken, decrease effects of target. So it just ignores damage reduction because it's Toji. You know what I'm saying? Skill 3. This is his break skill. He applies 236% break damage increase to self 1 time, and it removes attack nullification from target enemies. It removes 1 buff, and it prioritizes the most recent added buff to you know, your enemy, and it deals melee attack damage to previously specified enemy equal to 181% taijutsu, and it's 2 hits. So it's nowhere near as powerful as this skill 2. It won't be doing as much damage, but it's good for break and it's good for removing buffs. So there's that. Next we have his ult. It removes attack nullification from all enemies and removes 1 removable buff from them, prioritizing the most recently applied one. So it removes their most recent buff, just like skill 3, but this time it deals ranged attack damage to all enemies equal to 1,457% of his taijutsu damage. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's at level 8, by the way, so it can go up. And it's AoE. So we're gonna be running him on tower with this team here. Hopefully Yuta won't have to come out. He's just, you know, warming the bench. So yeah, let's lock in. Alright guys, we're on floor 29 and we've already done the skills for Yaga, Nanami and Yuki. Obviously Yuki's here to raise the curse energy of Nanami and Yaga, because one thing I forgot to mention when I was breaking down his kit, this guy has 0 cursed energy. Toji has no cursed energy, obviously just like the show. So none of his skills take any cursed energy. You can throw them all out whenever you want. Right, so here I'm just gonna go skill 2, and that's all we're just gonna keep spamming. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna keep spamming that skill 2. It does like 131k on skill 2. It's crazy. Alright, we're gonna buff here again, buff. We're gonna hit this and we'll skill 2 again. 204k. Nice, that's what we like to see. We'll buff again. Buff. And then we'll do cursed energy. And then we'll skill 2 one more time. Or maybe we should skill 1 to get that. Maybe we don't have time. I was thinking about using skill 1 to lower that crit res, so that we have a higher chance to crit. Let's just go for skill 2 again. Hopefully he crits and we can get some ult gauge on like-minded. He did he crit? I don't think he did. My crit luck is crazy bad. Right, let's pop this. And we'll go for this again. And I'll just pray he crits this time. Crit? Crit? No, he didn't crit. Alright, cool. So he ults this turn, which sucks. We could have done with Toji having his ult by now. But let's just go with this. And we'll just skill 2 again. Just pray no one dies. Wow. It did a lot of damage, but we're gonna buff. We're gonna use this. We're gonna buff again. And then we'll use this. And we'll pop like-minded. And we'll hit his ult. Let's see how much Toji does here. Okay, 1.2. Okay, 1.3 overall. Now, I want you to remember that Toji himself, he doesn't have to like wait to recharge his ult or anything like that. So he does just recharge his ult straight away. So if you had like Inumaki here, it would help with his ult. If I had better luck on crits, it would recharge his ult. Okay, here comes Yuta. But what makes him like better than Yuta is Yuta, when he hits his ult gauge, he has a 4-turn cooldown where he can't regen that again. Whereas Toji, he just be doing shit all the time. We do like that heal from Yuta, I'm not gonna lie. So we're just gonna buff again. And we're just gonna go skill 2 again. This should break. Alright, sorry guys, I have to cut there real quick. But we're coming right back in. He's broken. We'll buff here. Or no. What we'll do is we'll hit this. We'll debuff. And then we'll buff. And we won't ult with Yuta, because obviously we want to see mainly Toji damage. So we'll just skill 1. And then with Toji, this is without like-minded. But let's see what he does here. Okay, so 1.5. So that's around 1.6, 1.7 with, okay, almost 2 million. So yeah, along with Yaga that he hits almost 2 million. So yeah, he does a lot of damage considering both ults did around 4 million together, because he does raise his ult back up pretty quick. So, and if I had got lucky with crits, like if I got luckier with crits, he would have done way better. But yeah, sorry if you couldn't hear, you know, a baby, it's because my son's going crazy in the background. But anyway, let's get into Gojo. Alright guys, now it's time for my personal favorite out of the three, Satoru Gojo, the strongest blue. And I'm sure you guys have seen this guy's kit get broken down like a million different times, but we'll go over his passive, which is the Limitless Curse technique. When battle starts, he applies attack nullification for 2 turns, and he applies 30% damage taken increase to self for 2 turns. I don't know, I'm not really sure why it does that, because he has Limitless up anyway, so the damage taken isn't really a debuff for him, because who the fuck cares. But anyway, and applies 5% curse technique increase to self for 4 turns, and while this passive is up, his skill 2 will change. So while his passive is up, his skill 2 will change to this second effect right here, where it will increase. Is it this effect? Let me see. Yeah, it changes to disclosing the curse technique. It applies 74% damage dealt increase to self for 4 turns. So that's a major buff that you can stack 3 times. That's what you're going to want to do before you hit his ult. Stack that 3 times. And it applies 30% crit rate increase to self. So you're going to be critting for sure. We're starting off with skill 2. Mentioning it, I've got it at level 8, but it's because this is his most important skill. You're gonna be using this shit with this guy over and over again, because this is what's gonna make him hit as hard as everyone says. This is the reason why he's crazy. So while his passive is not up, his effect will change to this first one. That's what this symbol will mean. While it looks like this, that means the effect is this one, where it will apply Limitless for 3 turns. And it also applies 30% damage taken increase to self for 3 turns. Don't know why that matters, but whatever. And applies 5% curse energy increase to self for 5 turns. So yeah, it basically, what it does is reactivate his passive for 3 turns, but the curse technique is for 5 turns. So there will be a 2-turn gap in between. Also, there is like a time period. I believe it's 2 turns or 3 turns you have to wait between your passive running out before it turns into Limitless Curse technique, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. But his skill 1, I've got at level 8. It deals melee attack hybrid damage to target, equal to 189% of his taijutsu and 144% of his jujutsu. Don't know what happened there. It also has a chance, it's a 35% chance to taunt. So what I like to use this to begin with, because this really fills his ult gauge up a lot. So I like to use this in the beginning of a battle usually, to get the taunt towards him while his Limitless is up. And yeah, he can tank those hits while filling his ult gauge. So yeah, I really like this skill 1. We went over his skill 2. So skill 3, I rarely use this. I think I've maybe used this like 3 times, but it deals range attack damage to target equal to 394% cursed technique damage and applies 30% damage dealt decrease to them. So it's a damage dealt debuff for 2 turns, but it won't stack, so there's that. So if there's like 1 turn you're scared or some shit, you can hit them with this and it will decrease their damage by 30%. And then his ult, I've got this at level 9. I might jump it to 10, but I don't know, we'll see. It deals ranged attack damage to all enemies equal to 1,447%. And the reason why that's crazy is because it hits 5 times. Post all his buffs, this guy hits the hardest. Like, I'm sure he's the hardest hitting unit in the whole game. So this guy's crazy. But yeah, we briefly went over his kit. Let's get into the tower stage. Let's go. Okay, we're on tower floor 27 this time. We're gonna start off with a buff. We're gonna buff and we're gonna curse the energy. And we're gonna hope we get that taunt off. Can this guy be debuffed? Can he be taunted? I'm not even sure. I should have looked into the boss really. Did it? We didn't get no taunt there. So we'll see. Buff, buff. Skill 1, and now I will apply his skill 2, because right now it is not limitless curse technique. This is giving himself the buffs. I'll hit this 3 times and then I'll hit his ult. Hopefully this guy doesn't kill us before then, but we'll buff, cursed energy, buff again. So we're not even dishing out any attacks right now. Okay, there goes Nanami. That sucks. That really does. Okay, we'll go with this. And then we'll hit this and we'll buff again. I do believe this is our last buff. And then we'll hit his ult. Okay, he's not quite at his ult gauge yet, so we'll have to do it one more time. That's my fault. We might even have to restart his buffs. Hold up. Because that just means I need to check his buffs. This is my bad, guys. He's got 1 turn. Where's his buffs? This is his buff. He's got 1 turn left on it. 2 turns, 2... Yeah, I'm gonna need to buff. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna need to buff 2 more times, I believe. Let's go with this. We'll buff here. Okay, we'll buff and then we'll hit the main. So we're not gonna get the second buff off, so I do believe he's just only gonna have 2 of his own buffs applied here. Okay, so there's 1, 2, yeah, so we're just gonna have 2. We can buff another 74%, just remember that. I just kind of messed it up. But we'll see what he does here anyway. Do we hit this off? No, let's do this, and then we'll do this. No. You know what? Forget me. Let's do this. And then we'll buff 1 more time here. And with Megami, we'll ult. Yeah, sounds good to me. We just gotta pray he doesn't kill with his ult. Not Megami. The guy had a he had a Vade on anyway. I should have looked. Okay, that works out perfectly. Now we'll do this. We'll debuff here. Let me check his buffs. Yeah, he has that 1, 2. Yeah, he's got 2. So I did kind of miss it a little bit. So he does want 1 more turn of buffs. May as well do it now. Okay, so next turn he will be hitting. He will be hitting hard. Apply the debuff, and just to make sure he does have all his buffs. Yeah, he does. Alright, let's go. That always looks like it just breaks the game. How much does he hit here? There's just too many numbers, bro. I ain't gonna read all that. Like, that's crazy. 4.9 million. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, Gojo is insane. Like, I made a few fumbles that game, that fight, but it doesn't really matter because he's just crazy. So, yeah, there's Gojo. He's insane. He is literally insane. And there it is, guys. That is all 3 of the hidden inventory units. Now, tell me who your personal favorite is down below. Tell me if you summoned for all 3. Tell me what the results are. I'm interested to know. I got lucky, and yeah, It was a good little hidden inventory session for me. It was good. My personal favorite is Gojo out of the three, and then Toji, then Geto. But please don't forget how good Geto really is anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.